Hello, hello little kids. How are you today? Today I got a little like history lesson type book. It's called We Gather Together Celebrating the Harvest Season. It's filled with facts about the fall equinox. So here we go. Let's learn some stuff. Hope you guys are doing well. During early autumn, in the northern part of the earth, chipmunks pack their cheeks full of seeds to store in underground burrows. Red fox pups hunt for rodents and fruit to eat, then bury leftovers to dig up when food is scarce. Beavers store twigs and sticks underwater to chew when ice covers their pond. There's some nice pictures there of the different animals and what they do to prepare for winter. As the sun appears lower in the southern sky each day, the sun rises later each morning and sets earlier each evening. Days grow shorter and nights cooler, and the growing season ends. Time to prepare for winter. Black bears gobble honey, grubs, fruit, and roots, building layers of fat for the cold days ahead. People pick purple grapes, yellow squash, orange pumpkins, and crisp red apples. They husk corn, gather nuts, rake cranberries, and enjoy the harvest season. But today, there's little need for them to stockpile food for the winter as the animals do. Ships, trucks, and cargo planes transport it from parts of the world where fruits and vegetables are still growing. When it's winter in the northern hemisphere, food is brought in from the southern hemisphere, where it's summer. There's the bear getting fat for winter, and humans doing all their harvesting, and they're showing how they transport food from the southern hemisphere up to the northern hemisphere. And here we have the time frame and timeline on what's happening. So I'll read up here, and then I'll read down and around, okay? Fall equinox. Day and night are equal that day. Fall. Nights are longer than days. Days getting shorter. Time to harvest. Winter solstice. It's the shortest day with the least sunshine. That's the first day of winter. Winter. Nights longer than days. Days getting longer, spring is coming. Spring equinox. Day and nights are equal again. Just for that one day. Spring. Days longer than nights. Days getting longer. Seedlings start to sprout. Summer solstice. The longest day with the most sunshine. Summer. Days are longer than nights. Days are getting shorter. The crops are growing. And it just keeps going in a circle forever, right? You guys have already seen that. Different seasons are caused by the tilt of the earth as it moves around the sun. When the northern part of the earth tilts towards the sun, the north gets lots of sunshine, and it's summer there. When the northern part of the earth tilts away from the sun, the north gets less sunshine, and it's winter. Between summer and winter, around September 21st, the sun crosses the equator and shines equally on both the northern and the southern parts of the earth. On that day, in the northern part of the world, summer ends and autumn begins. Day and night have equal hours all over the world. For many, the autumnal equinox signals a time to harvest crops. Now we're just past that day. It's the 23rd, September 23rd today. So we just missed that day. That was 2 days ago. Each crop has its own growing season. Most seedlings sprout with the cool spring rain and thrive under the warm summer sun. Sunshine helps a plant's leaves make the food that is necessary for a plant to grow. When autumn arrives, days are cooler. Plants can no longer make the food they need, and the growing season ends. Time to gather in the crops, fruits and vegetables that ripen by autumn. Must be harvested before winter's freezing. Weather destroys them. So, gotta get everything out before it gets too cold, because if it gets too cold, things freeze and they get ruined. 300,000 years ago, no one knew how to plant seeds to produce a bountiful harvest. Cave dwellers picked berries, collected nuts, dug roots, and gathered wild plants. Winters were hard for them. They had to live on what they had gathered and stored in the fall. They were hunters and gatherers. About 10,000 years ago, where Syria and Turkey are today, tribes learned to grow wheat and barley from seed. How exciting it must have been to plant one seed and produce a stalk with many. 8,000 years ago in Egypt, people discovered the warm climate was perfect for farming. The Nile River provided water, and once each year, its floodwaters deposited rich, black, fertile soil on both sides. Plants grew in abundance. That means a lot of plants grew. So here's a picture of 10,000 years ago, Turkey, Syria area, and then a picture of the Egyptians 8,000 years ago. Gradually, farming spread to Asia. About 5,000 years ago, people grew food in a crescent-shaped area where Iraq is now. The Tigris River and small streams that fed it turned valleys into fertile crescents of rich farmlands. Each autumn in many lands, men, women, and children worked all day and night, and even at night under the light of the bright harvest moon. They cut rice, threshed wheat, and gathered bundles of barley. A good harvest meant plenty of food to eat in the fall, and more to store for days when food was scarce. Time to rejoice and have fun after hard, back-breaking work. So there's pictures of them as they're figuring out how to farm in Asia, and then they're working all into the night. A little kitty. Meow. Over the centuries, people celebrated plentiful harvests and passed down traditions at different times, in different places, in different ways. All over the world, harvest celebrations from the past are still being carried on today. Jewish families have gathered together at harvest time for over 3,000 years to celebrate Sukkot. During this 8-day festival of Thanksgiving, they wave palm, myrtle, and willow branches, then point them in all directions to show that God is everywhere. Some Jews build a hut called a sukkah, like the ones farmers once stayed in, to be near their crops during the busy harvest. They decorate the huts with fruits and vegetables, then invite friends and family to share food and friendship. Here they are, building the huts, celebrating the harvest. People in southern India have celebrated Pongal, a 4-day rice festival, for over 2,000 years. On the first day, they decorate their front doors with rice flower designs and give thanks to the rain gods. On the second day, they cook pongal, a sweet rice pudding, to offer some to the sun god. On the third day, they honor their cattle to thank them for pulling the plows. On the fourth day, families and friends gather on riverbanks to dance and enjoy a bountiful feast, including, of course, freshly harvested rice. There they are, celebrating all the rice they harvested. The people of Japan have held rice festivals for about 2,000 years. In spring, girls dressed in kimonos plant rice while musicians play bells, drums, and flutes. In summer, they hold a lantern festival to express their joy as the rice ripens. When fall comes, they celebrate the rice harvest with parades and a dragon dance. During their moon viewing ceremony, people sing while watching shadows on the full moon. Many think the shadows show a rabbit making rice cakes. There, they're celebrating. They have those big dragons that they do in the parades to celebrate. For over 700 years, Nigerians have held a fall festival to give thanks for yams, the first crop harvested. On the night before the festivities began, the old wrinkled yams are thrown out. The next day, new yams are offered to the gods and ancestors in appreciation for the successful harvest. Dancers wear raffia skirts and masks that portray turtles, lizards, trees, and the sun or the moon to celebrate a cycle of nature. So here they are, throwing out the old and then celebrating the new. Hundreds of years ago, the English believed that the spirit of their wheat lived in the last bundle they cut. In each field they twisted it into the shape of a doll. Since they called wheat corn, these dolls were named corn dollies. They were hung in barns or churches during the winter, then plowed back into the earth in the spring to ensure good harvest in autumn. People still make corn dollies just for fun. There's a picture of the corn dolly they make right there. Just by twisting the corn around. Pilgrims from England arrived in America in the fall of 1620. Too late to plant crops. That winter, many died from hunger and sickness. When spring came, the surviving pilgrims sowed wheat seeds. A Native American tribe, the Wapanos, showed them how to plant maize or corn. The following autumn, the harvest was fruitful. The pilgrims planned a celebration to share this blessing. The men hunted and killed 5 deer to bring to feast. The pilgrims stayed busy too. Men brought ducks, geese, turkeys, fish, and oysters. Women prepared cornbread and cranberries, while children turned meat on spits over an open fire. Games and feasting lasted 3 days. So here's all of that happening. First Thanksgiving. Bountiful harvests have been celebrated since earliest times. People all over the world still celebrate a fruitful year of farming with fun, feasts, and festivals. They enjoy corn, rice, yams, apples, pumpkins, cranberries, and other fruits and vegetables of the harvest season. Autumn, with its brilliant colors and delicious gifts of nature, offers friends and families a time to gather together and give thanks for all of their blessings. Here they are having a big feast together. And then here's a picture of the equinox where the day and the night are equal, cut in half, right? And then it's got a bunch of equinox facts. And then you can prove the sun rises due east on both equinoxes. They show you a little experiment on how to do that. What else does this book offer you guys that you guys can do when you get it? You can show how the earth makes seasons with the tilt of the earth. Some instructions there. Ooh, how to make corn muffins. Dad loves corn muffins. I like corn muffins with syrup on them. Super good. Then you can make a Nigerian harvest mask and celebrate. Oh, that'll be fun. You guys can make some fun masks. It'll show you how or tell you how. They offer you some ideas on some things you can research maybe as you get older. China's Moon Festival, the Inca's Corn Harvest Celebration, Ancient Egyptian Harvest Parade, Ancient Greek Harvest Festival, the Hopi Corn Dance, the Iroquois Green Corn Dance, and so on. There's a bunch of them. Oktoberfest, Thanksgiving Day, Sugarcane Festival. And then they give you some places where you can find some more information. That's a pretty educational book with some fun facts in it. I hope you guys all enjoyed it and listened to the story. And then when you get it, browse through it, put that stuff up in your brain, get smarter. I love you all like crazy, and I miss you like so much. I'll read you another book tomorrow, and hopefully I remember to upload it, because sometimes I forget to upload them. Love you. Mwah.